My name is Sergio Felix. I'm 26 years old. I live in Goodyear, Arizona, and my business is a marketing agency. I help e-commerce brands with their paid advertising, so think of Facebook ads, Google ads. Yeah, my family was lower middle class. I just spent my days as a kid watching cartoons. I played sports. I got A's and B's in school. Right after high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I went to community college. A year in, I decided that I wanted to be a software engineer. Eventually, I took a very hard class that made me realize I did not want to be a software engineer. At the same time, I was learning about marketing, and that interested me more. Eventually, I got my associate's degree in science, and I decided not to go to university. I was feeling like I had to prove my parents wrong. That's why I decided to wait for 6 months just to get a better idea of what direction I was going. When it all started, I was 18 and I watched people like Ty Lopez showing up, and he was just talking about knowledge, and he showed a Lamborghini, and then it kind of just started from there. And I was watching a lot of different online entrepreneurs. I was living with my parents, and I had a little desk and a laptop given by my brother. And I didn't really have much, I had no money, and that was the beginning of my journey. When I first started this entrepreneurship journey, I knew I didn't want to go back to school, so this was my only solution. I had no plan B. It was either this or nothing. Like, I was going to give it my all, and I think that's the type of mindset you have to have if you want to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to take entrepreneurship serious, so I decided to just work all day, and instead of going out with friends, all I did was take courses, was starting a business, and I was going into the gym. Biggest challenge for me was not knowing where to go, or like not having a clear path on what I wanted to do or what business I wanted to start. So I just started experimenting with first a dropshipping store. There was a lot that went into it. I had to worry about logistics, I had to worry about advertising, marketing, all types of expenses for the business. And eventually I got into debt with all the advertising I did for the online store. After being $4,000 to $5,000 in debt, I decided that I had to get a job and the skills that I was learning, which is digital marketing. When I realized that I had a lot of debt, I decided to just close the store and get a digital marketing job. I had the skills, I just had to learn how to put it in a resume. So I decided to do internships, got some results, and the good results, I put them in a resume, and I started applying to digital marketing jobs. As soon as I got a digital marketing job, my first job ever, I decided to only pay off my debt with that job. That's the whole reason why I got the job, just to pay off my debt. After working a year at that job, I knew I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life, and that's why I was doing freelancing on the side. Eventually, I decided to quit that job and go full-time freelancing. And during that time, I had a LinkedIn profile where companies were reaching out to me. One of the companies that reached out to me was Caesars Entertainment. Another one was one of Disney's networks. And I was getting a lot of internships. And this gave me a lot of confidence that this skill was in demand and I could do a lot with this skill. After freelancing and working for a couple different companies, I finally got my first big client, and that gave me the confidence to continue and make my own agency after that. However, starting a marketing agency isn't easy. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and I had to put a lot of hours into making sure the clients are happy. And as soon as I got big enough, I decided to hire some contractors to help me out. Now there's more stress because I had to make sure that my contractors are being paid, the clients are happy, and how I'm supposed to continue growing the business. Even though it is a lot of hard work and this life is not for everybody, I remember going to my 9 to 5 job and just hating that feeling of going and working for someone else. And this feeling is just so much more better and it's worth it for me. One of the milestones that I'm particularly happy about is getting my first house at 25 and getting my first $10,000 a month. My work-life balance looks like this. I work pretty much all day from 9 in the morning all the way to 7 to 8 p.m. I go to the gym, and then on the weekends I see my girlfriend and family. That's works for me. Everybody's different, but that's what I do. So even though I'm doing well for myself and my business is making money and I have contractors, I'm still growing and I gotta reinvest all my money back into the business. I live below my means so I could reinvest more money. People think entrepreneurship is cool and maybe some think it's easy, but it is a lot of time. You have to work a lot of hours. When it comes to a 9 to 5 job, once it's 5, you clock out and that's it. With a business, you go work all night, you go work all morning. There's a lot more hours you got to put into the business if you wanted to actually succeed. With the 9 to 5, the good thing is that you have a boss, you know exactly what you need to do. With a business, you don't know exactly what you need to do. You got to figure it out. If you have a 9 to 5 and you want to start your own business, don't expect it to be easy. It's going to be very challenging and you're going to work a lot of hours. What I would recommend is keep your 9 to 5 and start a business on the side. You might have to work late hours just to get this business up or the side hustle. As soon as you feel comfortable with the amount of money you're making from that side hustle, that's when I would consider quitting the job and transitioning into whatever the business or side hustle you're doing. Being an entrepreneur nowadays is easier, but also harder, and let me explain. It's easier because there's a lot of new AI software, there's a lot more resources, a lot more content, a lot of people teaching this stuff. But because of that, it's a lower barrier to entry. It's harder because there's a lot of competition. After years working on my business and freelancing and having that marketing job, my parents knew that I had something going for me, especially when I was, especially when I moved out for the first time, when I started buying and living on my own. That's when they realized that this has potential. And now my parents are happy with what I did and my decision. Having a business can be stressful. You have a lot of expenses. You have contractors or employees. And for me, I have a family that I want to support and I want to help them out financially. So it means a lot for me to continue growing this business and to provide for my family and my future family.